In the name of God, the source of all wisdom and life, these mountains that surround us here are full of hidden secrets. Within them lie minerals that have been preserved for millions of years, and they will only reveal their secrets to explorers, scholars, and those who transcend the human realm. Let's take a cue from this and talk about a universal law, the law of secrecy. There's a rule in the universe, and it's this: you should keep your secrets hidden. Don't reveal them. This is the opposite of what we do on Instagram, social media, and the like. We broadcast to the world what we eat, what we wear, the trips we take, the happiness we experience. But that's not how it works. The laws of the universe tell us that if you want to live well, if you want to be safe, if you want to stay out of harm's way, pay attention to this principle, which is also echoed in the words of Rumi, Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi. When your secrets are hidden in your heart, your desires will be fulfilled sooner. You have a goal, a destination, you're moving towards it. If you want to reach your goal faster, there's a rule, and it's this: you should keep your secrets to yourself. Don't broadcast them. Don't publicize your goals. In this regard, a key quote from a superhuman has reached us. Hide your gold, your goals, your ideas, your thoughts. Hide them. If you hide these three elements we've talked about, you can reach your goal faster. Everyone wants to reach their goals faster. So, dear viewer, wherever you are in the world, from whatever perspective or thought, if you want to reach your goals faster, remember that you should hide your financial resources, you should hide your goals, you should hide the mechanisms for achieving your goals. If you hide these three elements, you can take very effective steps in the future to reach your destination sooner, move better than the rest, and reach the position you deserve.
We are generally good at talking, but we don't know how to be silent, because we learned to speak in silence, but we will never learn silence. Silence comes from within. It's the result of thought and reflection. Silence is a sign of wisdom. The one who speaks less thinks more and grows and flourishes more. Silence plays an important role in shaping a person's character. All those we call great leaders and prophets have been forced or chosen to spend long periods of silence, either as shepherds, on solitary journeys, or encouraged to be still. They found many answers in that silence. The answers to the questions are within you and me. Don't look for them outside yourself. Because speaking is considered one of the powers of lust and is a vice, and we are the human race in the chains of lusts, except for a few. Man grows up in silence and solitude. The greatness and grandeur of man comes from concentration and silence. The answers to our questions are in silence, not in the noise and watching television or listening to the radio. All those whom we call great men and prophets have been in silence for long periods, either by force or by choice. They were either shepherds or on a quiet path, or were encouraged to be silent and find answers to many things. The answers to the questions are within you and me. Don't look for them outside yourself. My suggestion is, let's not equate silence, with death. Silence is the death of ignorance. It's amazing if you can learn to be quiet and calm. Silence, not as an act of self-control or suppression of emotions, but as a way to deal intelligently with all kinds of situations. If you can control your tongue and your heart and let it go, silence can change your life. The truth is that the basis of meditation and contemplation is the courage and ability to be silent and calm. Today, no matter how much experience, money, or social success you have, there is still very little satisfaction with work and life. And for the simple reason that we have all forgotten what is essential in life. When you are silent, you can rediscover the essential parts of yourself. Simply stop moving with silence. If you stop moving, your inner peace will naturally arise. A scholar was asked, how can one know the level of someone's intelligence? he said from the words he speaks. They asked again, what if he said nothing? He replied, no one is wise enough to always be silent. Anyone can succeed in understanding and comprehending the causes of their behavior in harmony with themselves and others, and develop their personality by controlling their mind. Be silent when you don't know what to say, what to answer, or how to say it. Just be silent. Sometimes it is sweeter not to say anything than to say incoherent words, which lightens you up at the moment. Be silent at that moment. Sometimes try to close your eyes to hurtful words and allow your tongue to practice silence, the minutes when the feeling of explosion in your cells eats you up from within. Experience silence until your mind consults with your heart and makes the right decision. Sometimes silence is the answer to all pain. To be a wise speaker, one must be silent, which is the most amazing form of self-control. Silence has a main purpose, and that is to awaken consciousness. Improved consciousness means being in the present moment at all times and experiencing everything with full awareness. If you drink coffee while reading the newspaper, you are not really drinking coffee because your mind is always busy with the tasks you have to do throughout the day. You drink coffee and consciously pick up the cup. You bring it to your lips, taste it, put the cup back in place, and your mind is fully focused on the present moment and what you are doing. By living in the present moment, you increase your awareness. It's like stopping doing things automatically and separating yourself from everyday life. The seal of silence increases this awareness and gives you the jolt you need to finally break the mold. This process is known and defined as spiritual awakening or lucid state. The word antamona is a combination of the two words antar, inside, and mona, silence. And in general, it means silence of the mind. Antamona is a basic and valuable practice in meditation. That helps the individual to control the confused mind and reach the silence of the mind. Silence of the mind, a 5-step practice. State 1. Awareness of the 5 senses and external matters. This is the first step in silencing the mind. It involves focusing on the present moment and being fully aware of your surroundings. Pay attention to the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures around you. State 2. Withdrawing the senses from the external world and bringing awareness back to the inner mind. Once you have a good sense of your surroundings, gently withdraw your attention from the external world and bring it back to your inner mind. Observe your thoughts, feelings, and emotions without judgment. State 3. Observing all thoughts that arise freely in the mind. This state involves simply watching your thoughts come and go without trying to control or suppress them. Notice the nature of your thoughts, whether they are positive, negative, or neutral. State 4. Optional nature of thoughts. In this state, you begin to realize that your thoughts are not who you are. You are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. You have the power to choose which thoughts you give your attention to and which you let go of. State 5. Liberation from thoughts, and finally, entering the stage of meditation. In this final state, you are completely free from the grip of your thoughts. You are in a state of pure awareness, untouched by the mind's chatter. This is the state of meditation. Antamona, a complete practice for silencing the mind. Antamona is a comprehensive practice system for cultivating and regulating awareness. By learning Antamona, we discover how to become aware of the stages of the mind and control our thoughts. In the practice of silencing the mind, we become observers of the events of the mind, and repeating it for a long time leads us to the stage of witnessing ourselves. Throughout history, wise minds have recognized the significance of silence. Let's listen to what some of them have to say. Persian poem. If you are a seeker of truth, Do not open your lips except to God's command. If you know the secret of life and death, put the seal of silence on your mouth. Arabic proverb. When a crazy woman argues with you, be happy, because a woman's silence is a sign of your end. It is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Rumi. Sometimes silence works miracles, and you learn that not always being an outcry is necessary. Not all warnings ring. Sometimes silence is the last warning. Researchers and experts in medical science have repeatedly reminded us of the miraculous healing power of silence in reducing stress and combating anxiety and depression in recent years. Being in a calm environment allows us to think more deeply about ourselves and our surroundings, and with a better understanding and perception of ourselves and our environment, we can perform better in our daily activities. Every word has its time, and every point has its place. Before you start talking, ask yourself if you really need to say something or not. If what you want to say is not relevant to the discussion, it is better to avoid saying it. People are attracted to the conversations of someone who chooses their words and sentences carefully. Those who are always commenting and telling stories gradually lose their popularity. Usually, most of the things that talkative people say are irrelevant and unnecessary. When you talk a lot and constantly, you say everything that comes to mind. To learn to talk less, you must learn to think before you speak. Before you speak, think a little about what you want to say and weigh your words. This method will make you give up on some words and talk less. People who talk a lot are likely to inadvertently spill a lot of confidential information and private words. Before making such statements, be sure to pause for a moment. Remember that spilled water does not go back to the stream. You always have time to share more information about an issue with others. But once you say something confidential in a group, it is no longer private, and there is nothing you can do to make up for it. While being a person of few words is a valuable skill, it doesn't mean you should never speak up or express your opinions. If something is seriously bothering you, or you have an idea that you feel is important, don't hesitate to share it. Extremes in anything, including speaking less, are not always ideal. Don't deprive those around you of your valuable and potentially crucial insights under the guise of being a person of few words. Knowing when to speak. Knowing when to speak is a fundamental aspect of mastering the art of speaking less. For instance, when facing a serious personal issue, it's wise to confide in trusted friends or family members to seek support. Or, if you have a work-related idea that could positively impact the workflow, don't hesitate to share it with your managers and colleagues. Silence is a powerful tool that can be used to enhance our lives in numerous ways. It can help us gain clarity and perspective, find inner peace, improve focus and concentration, boost creativity, reduce stress and anxiety. The renowned Persian poet Sa'di offers a unique perspective on silence. What is the tongue in the mouth of the wise? A key to the treasure of the skilled artist. If the door is closed, how can anyone know whether he is a jeweler or a silk merchant? Though silence is considered politeness among the wise, when the time is right, it is better to speak up. Two things are irrational: keeping quiet when it's time to speak and speaking when it's time to be silent. The transformational power of silencing the mind. Silencing the mind is the most fundamental and essential step towards personal transformation. Throughout history, this state of silencing the mind has remained the rarest occurrence. The strength of inner silence. Nothing is more powerful than inner silence in transforming one's personality. This often overlooked and misunderstood concept holds immense power: the energy of silence. Silence possesses a high level of vibrational energy. For those who have experienced it, it can become an addictive and lifelong practice. Silence is the gateway to understanding the language of creation and the mysteries of existence. When you quiet your mind and lead a silent life, inspiration flows, creativity flourishes, personal power expands, and new paths unfold before you. Silence, a gateway to inner awareness. Silence is a form of conscious presence that brings us from the external world to the inner one. It involves focusing this awareness on our goals and desires, prompting our subconscious mind to manifest the desired outcomes in our external lives. When we speak of silence, we refer to a complete and profound inner stillness, an absolute calmness and tranquility. In times when you feel hopeless and all doors seem closed, this profound silence emerges as an extraordinary solution, putting you back in control of everything. Silence symbolizes infinity. Through silence, humans can embark on a journey into their inner world. It acts as a soothing balm against the mental clutter and challenges we face. Quotes on the power of silence. Every word is like an unnecessary stain on silence and emptiness. Samuel Beckett. That which cannot be expressed in words can only be understood through silence. Shams Tabrizi. Silence is the best way to express indifference. George Bernard Shaw. The best people are those who, if you praise them, blush, and if you speak ill of them, remain silent. Khalil Gibran. In general, those who know a lot talk little, and those who know little talk a lot. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Just as we must take responsibility for every idle word we speak, we must also take responsibility for every idle silence. Benjamin Franklin. Whenever you doubt the sincerity of your feelings, be silent. Alexander Pope. I have never seen a brighter lamp than silence, nor heard a word more eloquent than no speech until I became a resident of the House of Silence. Bayezid Bastami. Of all virtues, choose silence, for through it you can discover the faults of others and hide your own. George Bernard Shaw. Nothing increases power like silence and secrecy. Charles de Gaulle. Only peace and silence are the sources of eternal and everlasting power. Fyodor Dostoevsky. If you are silent until others speak to you, it is better than if you speak until others silence you. Socrates.
Learning secrets from nature's mysteries. Where do we learn the art of keeping secrets? From nature itself, from the mountains, the treasures buried deep within the earth, the seeds that lie dormant in the soil. These hidden wonders only reveal themselves when subjected to the right conditions, like seeds sprouting under nurturing rain and fertile soil. Even then, they only unveil a fraction of their true nature. Today, humanity has only scratched the surface of understanding the universe. Vast secrets remain concealed, governed by the laws of nature, accessible only to those who transcend human limitations. These transcended beings are those who have cultivated themselves, creating within themselves the capacity to grasp these hidden truths. This brings us back to a profound verse from Persian literature. The one who can interpret signs is the bearer of good tidings. There are many secrets, but where are the confidants? Let us strive to elevate ourselves, to become worthy of these secrets. Otherwise, we must remain cautious, safeguarding our knowledge until we are truly prepared to share it.